And we're live.
We're live. Hey, everybody, it's Kevin. And
Amanda, how are you?
good.
Oh no. Dang it. I would have had it if we were switched the other way. I'm never gonna get that.
Let's see, we're going to switch and see if we can get it right this time.
Yeah.
Ready to go. Yeah, the reverse screen thing, it's like,
No, wait, that way.
no, it's that way.
Wherever you are, if you're over here, then it's that. Yeah.
Anyway, thank you from Amanda for holding down the fort while we had a very busy week. We had double bookings, but not triple this week. So that was great.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know if you can call it, like double. Can you stack it? Like if you're on the 60th floor, does that count as a higher priority shoot than?
So the higher it is that you're shooting, the more important.
Well, sometimes that works out that way.
I
Unless
mean,
you're on a cliff and you're like hanging over it, and you're like, this guy's less important.
right. Hey, I want all our clients to know that you are all important to us, no matter how high or how low we're shooting. Okay.
That's true. One of our sound people was telling me about going on a shoot in Texas in the blazing summer, and they were like, "All right, I'm gonna be prepared for this. Wear shorts, t-shirt, whatever." But then they went 6 miles into the earth to follow this like excavating or a drilling company or whatever, I don't know, natural resource company.
Yeah.
And it was like a balmy 55 degrees, and they were like well ill prepared. Like the producer had not warned them to bring bring coats and jackets, because even though it was Texas in the summer, they were going to be way under underground in cold.
It's like you never know, right? You never
You gotta be
know.
prepared, especially here in the Northeast. It was in the near 60s yesterday, so you got to be prepared for anything.
No.
And in LA, where you're at, it's
beautiful. However, I don't know if I'm turning into like a West Coast native now, and I'm complaining about the 60-degree weather and I'm like, oh my God, it's 50 degrees. I'm like, oh my goodness.
wait till, as someone wise told me, wait for a few hours and you'll be in summertime by 3 p.m.
Yeah. Oh yeah. In the middle of the day, it's like nice and warm. You start off with like a hoodie, then you take it off, and at the end of the day, you'll put your hoodie back on.
Well, we had a great week. We started. It's hard to even remember where we started. We started prepping a bunch of work, and then Tuesday we sent we started setting up late for a press junket.
Yeah.
With a fairly famous director. When I say fairly famous, like wicked
very
famous.
He means very famous director.
And that was phenomenal. We set up, we had a whole Zoom going in in 2 days, probably, I want to say like 30 people popped in on Zoom one at a time to do interviews. And it's a really phenomenal process. There's a great coordinator we work with and production company we work with to do those. We've done lots of great people, Stallone, and over the years, Michael B. Jordan, and so a lot of great people we worked with over the years.
Yeah. Fun.
And yesterday I felt like the last 2 days. I felt like I was in film school, just listening to this director tell his philosophy on cinema and on the project he's working on, the series he's working on right now. And it was really a wonderful opportunity. Now, this director I worked with at the beginning of his career.
That's cool.
My career. So it's very interesting to be, hanging out in the room and listening to what was happening.
Yeah. Is it true that the biggest asset a lot of film directors, just people in the industry, really want and need is like creative control? They want to be able to not, be in a box and
Yeah.
tell their stories the way they want to tell and, do their own thing. And that's his thing too, right? He likes.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. This particular director, and this is for a lot of you out there, creatives, myself as a creative, it's very interesting. This particular director started the series and dove in to this series and mortgaged his house and said like, "Hey, no one believed in it as much as he did,"
Yeah.
and so he was like, "We're doing this. I just got to tell this story and get it out there." And now he had pitched it and believed he had not only the a great story, but also the channels to get it exposed. But you have to be very cautious with that. There's so many stories of
Yeah.
so
But
many
also,
stories
don't you think like he was taking a chance, but he also already built a reputation. His
yeah,
name was already his name. So it's like taking a chance on yourself when, okay, he's not maybe where he wants to be, like his goals, he's not there yet, but
and
taking
are as creatives or any of us there yet?
yeah, right. Will we ever be? I don't know, because we're just
Yeah.
so goal oriented. It's like we get here and then it's like, okay, let's go for this. Oh, let's go higher. How high can you go?
Yeah.
But I feel like, it's one thing to take a chance when no one even knows your name. And another thing, when you've built a solid reputation, you have a couple of movies on your belt, you have a fan base, and then you go ahead and do something like that. I feel like not that it's safe because nothing's ever safe. Anybody can fail at any point in their career. However, I feel like, he had a little bit of a cushion with his reputation there. So the
Yeah.
risk was the risk was there, but it wasn't like, if I were to do something like that and they're like,
It's well plot out. It's
yeah,
well thought out. It's well assessed.
yeah,
Um, well assessed. But I think it's but we all have to wherever we're at, we all have to say like, all right, what can I risk and go for it. But being willing and able to risk it all. You have to be able to live at the end of the day.
hmm
You have to be able to make sure that your family has shelter.
yeah. He
You
like
have
keep
and
his
whatever.
house. I'm sure he had to talk to his wife about this.
Yeah.
He had to weigh the pros and cons. Like
Yeah.
we could be homeless because of this show. Just saying, like,
I'm just gonna say pick your family. Well, you can't pick all your family, but as you grow your family, be wise in it because you'll have to have these conversations later, especially if you're an artist,
yeah.
to be like, all right, what level are we as a family willing to risk for my art?
Exactly. I remember having a conversation with a fellow actor, and he's an older actor, and his wife is not in the industry, doesn't really understand the industry. He had successes, but not, he was in a drought season, which we all experience. And she was just like, okay, time to quit, get a regular job. Like, we have a family. And he's like, no, you don't understand. I'm never quitting. Like, there's no plan B. This is it. And, they were having like difficulties because, he chose a partner that wasn't in the industry or didn't understand the industry. And that could be kind of tricky later on down the road because there's ups and downs in this world that we love so much.
It's interesting the love of the craft for us.
Mhm.
Um, for some people, love of money, and
Yeah,
love of or security, even maybe not just money. That
right.
has money's bad, but
Yeah,
uh, security can become like an idol and can be over top of your loved one or whatever,
yeah,
or sometimes your goals, your dreams happening today versus family time.
yeah.
But it
True.
takes a lot of communication.
It
How do we
does.
how do we get on like relationships all of a sudden? But it takes a lot of communication and a lot of
Yes.
like people believing in each other.
Yeah, exactly. And then balance, compromise, all the things that make a healthy relationship, meeting
Yeah,
halfway and knowing like, they have dreams too.
yeah.
Sometimes I feel like we get so caught up in our world and our world is so like crazy that it's like that one-way street when not. Life is all about a two-way street and they have dreams too. And sometimes you have to kind of sit back and take it's funny because my son, Jaden, he's an actor too. And whenever he has a booking and I go on set with him and I'm talking to everyone because I'm so used to being on set. He's like, Mom, I'm the actor. You're the momager. Have a seat over there with the other moms. Stop talking to the DP. Stop talking. Like, to go have a seat. And I'm like, okay, all right, let me go find my place. You know, like, it's like, oh, okay, let me stay in my lane. This is your show. I'm just here to support you. So, you know, it's just about finding that balance, respecting the people that you love, and then, you know, supporting them the same way that you want them to support you, you know?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
him taking that risk, putting up the house, his wife being on board, and, you know, he has a family too, just like us. It's pretty commendable.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but I think, you know, like, he has a chance to really, how to put it, you know, you get a reputation for success, and it's hard to have business success
Mhm.
in this field. You really have to, you know, serve other creatives who've, you know, maybe got into the studio system or the TV networks, and then pursue it on your own too, and partner too.
Yeah.
Hanging out with my good friend Dave Manzo last night, who's developing a bunch of projects and is finding great producing partners.
Mhm.
You know, in business, in production, in legal, because there's a whole like there's us,
Mhm.
director, cinematographer, actor, and we're like, you know, oh, you made a movie, you know, we're on set, we're doing the creative, but there's then behind the scenes, in order to make that creative a success, there's there are so many other things. I got Megan Kratz on
Hey,
here.
Megan.
You gotta, like, you know, jump in this conversation. I'm like being for real, you know.
Right.
Um,
No, but you're
so,
right. There's so many different like facets of in the business part, and you know, you can get your hands in everything, but you're not going to be good at everything, and it might not be your forte. Just like, you know, a lawyer who, like, I don't know my, you know, rights or what the law is with certain things in this industry, and it's like, you know, you have to trust someone and let someone do that as their profession, respect them in their craft in that way. So it's like having that solid team. It takes a while, but you know, we'll all get there.
yeah, totally. I think that one thing, you know, it's first off, to say this out loud, it is so awesome having you on my team, administering. Like, what's interesting, I've had a bunch of busy weeks doing, you know, the work for hire video content production,
Mhm.
and as I'm trying to develop and um, you know, do original content as well, it's just been great to have you around, taking some of that administrative work off of me and
Yeah.
burning, also challenging me and doing these kind of like venting with me. Like,
Right.
what was it? You know, what'd you learn? You know, so it's great to have a team all learning together.
Yeah.
And so, you know, to me, that's really important. You know, as I'm looking for um, the managers and etc. I think Megan Kratz is going to join us. I just
Oh,
texted
yay. Come on
her
in.
on her friends, so she's got to do a little. She's got to go through hair and makeup, I think, first.
Oh gosh, just get on here.
um. So hair and makeup is very important. You know.
Yes.
So, you know.
Hello, I'm a makeup artist.
So everything's important. I think that, you know, bring that team of creatives, or the team of business marketers, marketers. Yeah, that's a word. Marketers are so important to kind of get, once you create the content,
Mhm.
spread it out there.
Yeah.
You know, and we all kind of like, we can all be our own marketers. Right now,
Yeah.
we're tiny, but we're marketing our company right now.
Yeah. Technically. Yeah.
We're marketing your, you know, acting services.
Yeah.
LA people, Amanda needs to get away from doing admin for me and get out on set.
Give me a new job.
Jaden's about to start driving sooner or later, and he needs to
Oh,
drive her to work. He can
yes.
be the Boy, you're the mom manager?
Momager.
Momager.
Momager. Yeah. I'm not really great at it.
Sonager? Is there a sonager?
No. Although, let me tell you something. Jaden really helps me so much with my self-tapes. He is, he has gotten so good. He's like, he doesn't even say action and he'll like press it and be like, like he does the whole like, you're on. Yeah. So, I'm like, you're really getting the hang of this. It's so crazy.
That's awesome. That's super cool.
Yeah.
Have you had any fun auditions lately?
Let me think. I had a fun audition. The role was a real estate agent, and I was kind of shooing the person, I was selling their house and they were still living there. And I was like getting frustrated because they had all their personal things out and I like begged them not to. So I was like kind of trying to be nice, but like in a panic because people were on their way to look at the house. And I'm like, you left your stuff around. So that was kind of fun to film with Jaden. Jaden filmed me. So he's like, Mom, I need to see more. Oh my God! Now you're a director. Okay, that's great.
He's like senatoring you. It's great. It's awesome. It's so important. So good.
Yeah, yes. So that was cool. And then I've had actually a bunch of voiceovers. Like I get so many different requests. Some stuff from the Spanish market is really popular over here on this side. So yeah,
awesome.
it's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
So we did a Spanish shoot once, and with my good friend, I was the cinematographer, and my good friend Palmer Enfield, who has passed away since, amazing producer and then turned director. But we were doing this corporate shoot, Spanish speaking, and I was like, oh, I get to like listen to my different my 2 years of Spanish, and I'll be able to like translate a couple words, like when the talent asks to go to the bathroom, we're like, oh, baño, oh, izquierda. And what was fascinating is that I believe our talent was of Puerto Rican background, and on this, they brought in a language coach, I guess, who was of Spanish descent.
Oh gosh.
And there was a Spanish speaking person in the company who was of Mexican descent.
Oh, good Lord. That's 3 different dialects.
Yeah. And it was fascinating to have that experience. And we went into like wicked, mad, terrible overtime. This is the only corporate video shoot that I left. I got there at 9 a.m. and left on the first day, or maybe it was a one-day shoot. We left at 1 a.m.
Oh my! On a corporate shoot.
On a corporate shoot, the security didn't know we were there anymore. We were just there, just shooting away, and then we realized we were locked in the building. We had to like call. We had to call the security guard that was patrolling in the car, and he was like, "What are you guys still doing in there?" We're like, "We were working." He's like,
"Never left."
He's like, "Yeah." He's like, the shift change guy. He called the shift change guy. He was like, there was some guy that came around at 8 p.m. and was like, "Oh, yeah, we'll be out soon." Anyway, so it was the dialects. You got to get if you're doing work in another language, you need to know which dialect you're.
Yeah, that's like talking to someone from Boston, someone from Texas, and then someone from New York, and it's like they're all speaking English, but it's just different phrases, pronunciations, accents.
It's even worse, like the English of Australian and Britain and UK and America, because it's like
exactly.
They say cookie and they mean and a jam and they mean 2 different things. Biscuits.
It's bananas, and it's all the same language. So it's like people don't understand. It's the same thing with Spanish in Spanish-speaking countries. They're like, "Oh, you guys speak Spanish. You're all, Latinx," and I'm like, "Yeah, but sometimes I have to really listen and to someone talking from Argentina or something, or even Spain, and really catch certain words that I'm like, what does that word mean? I've never heard this before, or how they pronunciate is just different."
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool.
Well,
Where's our friend? Is Megan joining us or no?
oh, no, but I'm just texting now. I think we should wrap it up and we'll have Megan on at another time. I hope she's like, well, I just put on makeup for you, you know. What is it? This is like good content here. I'm like me texting, you know. It's like
I know, me too. They're like, oh yeah, we're just tuning in to see Amanda and Kevin text because I could just look at my kids doing that. Or like just literally, have you noticed how many people do that in the mall, like from Christmas shopping?
yeah.
Like in the mall, in Target, it's like people are walking around and they're like zombies. They're like,
I bumped into someone the other day while I was texting.
You said what? You
I
bumped this.
That's what I
crazy. When I see people crossing the street and they're texting, I'm like, that's not very safe. I just feel like you should still be looking out for cars. I know that we have the right of way when you're crossing the street, but some people are on their phone texting while they're driving. So maybe you should be on the lookout,
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if Megan's joining us. We'll have her back. And thanks, Megan, for joining us. And
yeah, Megan, we'll have you back for sure. And I'll be hair and makeup ready also because clearly I did not do anything this morning.
We have a coming up next week. We have another. So Derek's out today on another shoot for our client stream, and Brian went to New York. And I should have prepared and showed you some of those images. I'll show you some later. Maybe the music video when we get it finished. And yeah, next week we're droning and lots of meetings in preparation for people making great content for 2022.
Yep. Can't wait to see it.
Thanks, Amanda. I really appreciate you.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Bye-bye.